In October 2025, gold in India crossed 93,000 rupees per 10 grams, a record high. And you know what happened? Indians bought more gold, not less, more. Now, from the outside, this looks completely irrational. You're buying an asset at its most expensive point in history. No yield, no dividend, no cash flow. Every financial textbook would tell you to sell, not buy. But here's what financial textbooks don't teach you. India's relationship with gold has nothing to do with finance. It has everything to do with memory. Let me give you some numbers first. Indian households hold more than 25,000 tons of gold. That is more than the gold reserves of the World Bank. 87% of Indian households own some gold. And in 2025, even as jewelry demand dropped 25% in volume because prices were too high, gold ETF inflows surged 170% year on year. We didn't stop buying gold. We found a more efficient way to buy even more of it. So, why does this keep happening? To understand this, you have to go back just a few decades. India has lived through events that completely destroyed paper wealth and institutional trust. The partition of 1947, one of the largest forced migrations in human history. Families crossed borders with nothing except what they could carry. The people who had gold carried something. Everyone else had nothing. The emergency of 1975 to 1977. The government froze bank accounts, demonstrated clearly that institutions could not always be trusted to protect your savings. Bank failures throughout the 20th century taught ordinary Indians that a bank balance was only as safe as the bank holding it. In this context, gold wasn't a bad investment. It was the only asset that required no intermediary, no institution, no government permission. That lesson got encoded into family behavior. And financial behaviors outlived the circumstances that created them by at least 2 generations. Now, let me tell you about something that almost nobody talks about in finance content. Stridhan. The gold given to a woman at her wedding was not tradition. It was the only financial independence she had in a country where women couldn't open bank accounts without a husband's permission until 1976. The gold sewn into the hem of a sari wasn't superstition. It was financial planning under conditions of extreme exclusion. Even today, with all the progress in financial inclusion, that cultural memory persists, and it should. So, the next time someone calls India's gold obsession irrational, tell them it's not irrational. Understanding why we make the financial decisions we do, that's the first step to making better ones. I'm Anya. This is That Finance Tidy. Every week we decode India's money, the psychology, the economics, and the uncomfortable truths nobody else is saying. Subscribe if that sounds like something you need. Didi samjhayegi.